All right, let's talk about promoting from within. It feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? I mean, it's supposed to be the best way to build a great culture and a strong leadership pipeline. You take one of your star players, you give them a bigger role, and everybody wins, right? Well, it turns out it's not quite that simple. There's actually a hidden trap in this very common practice, one that even the best companies fall into.
And that trap is a big one. Just look at this number, 60%. That's how many new managers fail within their first 2 years. Let that sink in. More than half of our brightest, most promising people end up stumbling, and it's often because we just didn't give them the right support to handle their new job. It's a shocking number, and it points to a much bigger problem.
So you have to ask, why? Why do we work so hard to find these amazing people, only to basically watch them fall the second they take that huge step up? Let's unpack that, because the answer says a whole lot about how we think about leadership.
And that brings us to what I call the promotion paradox. See, on one hand, companies love to talk about how they promote their own people. It's awesome for morale, it's great for continuity. But on the other hand, we often totally drop the ball when it comes to giving those same people the structured support they're going to need to succeed.
And at the heart of this paradox is a really dangerous assumption. We just assume that because they already know the company, they know the culture, they know the players, they'll just figure it out. We think all that company knowledge is some kind of magic wand that replaces real, actual onboarding. But that is a very, very expensive mistake to make. And this is where it gets really telling. Think about it. When we hire a leader from the outside, we roll out the red carpet, right? There are structured programs, meet and greets, a clear plan. But for our internal person, all too often, it's a quick handshake, a new title on their email signature, and good luck. We literally give strangers more support than we give our own proven stars.
And that lack of support, it basically throws them into a minefield of hidden hurdles. These are the tricky challenges that only someone promoted internally faces, and ignoring them comes with a massive cost, not just in team morale, but in cold, hard cash.
So what are these hurdles? Well, all of a sudden, they're managing their old work friends. Talk about awkward. They also have to completely shift their thinking from getting their daily tasks done to building a long-term strategy. And overnight, the very thing that made them successful before, their individual work, is no longer the goal. Now it's all about their team's success. This quote just nails it. It's so tough to suddenly be the boss of your friends. You have to figure out how to be an authority figure without alienating the very people you were just grabbing lunch with as equals. It's this incredibly delicate balancing act that pretty much no one is prepared for. Now let's look at the data. Sure, internally promoted leaders do fail a bit less than external hires, 35% versus 47%, but think about that. That's still 1 in 3 of your hand-picked, homegrown leaders who are struggling or outright failing within 18 months. That is not a number we should be okay with. It's a huge, preventable waste of talent.
And if the people side of this doesn't get your attention, the money definitely will. When a leader fails, you're not just paying to replace them, you're dealing with lost productivity, projects that go off the rails, and good people on their team who quit. The total cost is just astronomical. It can be anywhere from 2.5 to 10 times their salary. This isn't just an HR problem, it's a massive business problem. Okay, enough doom and gloom. The good news is this is totally fixable. So let's shift gears and look at the blueprint for success, a proven way to turn that risky promotion into a huge win.
The solution has a name, onboarding. And no, it's not just another piece of corporate jargon. It's a deliberate, structured process designed specifically for people moving up inside the company. It's all about treating this internal move with the same seriousness as bringing in somebody new from the outside.
So what does a great onboarding program look like? Well, it really rests on 4 key pillars. First, you need total clarity on the new role. Then, you have to offer targeted training to fill any skill gaps. Next, you pair them with a dedicated mentor or coach. And finally, you help them realign their key relationships across the company. This all comes together in a clear roadmap. And you've probably heard of this, the classic 30, 60, 90-day plan. In that first month, their job is just to learn and listen. In the second month, they start to contribute and make small improvements. And by month 3, they're ready to start leading new initiatives. This structure takes out all the guesswork and helps them build real momentum.
And I have to say, that mentorship pillar is just so critical. Pairing a new leader with a seasoned vet who isn't their direct boss gives them a safe space. It's a confidential sounding board where they can ask the quote-unquote stupid questions, vent their frustrations, and get real, unbiased advice on navigating the office politics. It's a huge accelerator for their confidence. But here's the thing, a one-off plan for just one leader isn't enough. To really solve this problem for good, you have to move beyond a single plan and build an entire organizational system. You've got to make great onboarding the default setting for every single internal promotion.
The whole key here is to make this repeatable. You can't leave success up to chance or hope that a particular manager is good at this stuff. It has to be a formal, official framework that guarantees every promoted leader gets the support they need every single time.
A huge part of building that system is just making it clear who's responsible for what. HR is there to provide the tools and training. The leader's own boss is there to set clear expectations and provide coaching. And, this is really important, the new leader themselves has to own their development and actively participate. It's a total team effort.
So, how do you actually build it? Well, you can start by creating some standardized checklists. You customize the plans for different levels of leadership. A brand new team lead needs something very different from a new vice president. And you can even use HR tech to help track everything and automate reminders, making the whole process super smooth and accountable. And when you finally put a system like this in place, you stop just filling empty boxes on an org chart. You start doing the real strategic work of nurturing your leaders from within, and that creates a powerful, sustainable advantage for the whole company.
What you get is this incredible virtuous cycle. See, effective onboarding leads to better performance from your leaders. That great performance drives team success and boosts morale. That in turn means people stick around longer, which gives you an even deeper bench of talent ready for the next step. It just keeps feeding on itself in the best possible way.
And honestly, the impact on retention alone is worth the effort. Get this, employees who get promoted and are properly supported have a 70% retention rate. You're not just saving one leader from failing, you're keeping your best people engaged and committed for the long haul.
And that really is the bottom line here. This isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have HR thing you get to when you have some spare time. In today's world, protecting and growing your best people is a core business strategy. It's an absolute must for survival and growth.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own organization. Are you just handing out new titles and kind of crossing your fingers hoping for the best? Or are you being intentional? And are you systematically building the next generation of leaders who are going to carry your company into the future? Because the answer to that question makes all the difference in the world.